watching a syndicate program.
The Emperor has been expecting you. I must obey my master. Indeed, you are powerful. It is pointless to resist, my son.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Monday's Toy Chest, episode 77. That's right, 77, the best year
Toy Chest 77
of ever. So it's a landmark year, and our episode title, everything. Guys, there's so much to get through. There is so much to talk about. Not just the reveals, but there are some deep dive talks. There's all kinds of things. So I'm just going to get right into it. I'm your host, Darth Moocher. I've got Scott Solo right there. Mad? Is he mad? Or is that's just his
I'm
anger?
mad.
I'm
angry.
He's old.
San Diego Comic-Con. Maybe death of the line.
Which line?
All of them. They're all dead. They're all dead to me.
We got Bliss Transmissions right there.
Well, I'm here tonight. There's a weird smell in my Mama, they made me into a Lego figure. Thank you to 212 Hunter. 212 Hunter mailed
awesome.
me Lego Zero the Hutt today.
That's awesome. Look at that.
What's up, guys?
man.
It's been a busy weekend, but I think there's one guy here that might be a little more tired than I've been.
I wasn't expecting him because, dude, straight from San Diego Comic-Con, Alexander Storm. There he is. There's the man. Quick question, Alex. Are you going again next year?
I don't know. First of all, we got to talk to the Comic-Con staff and everything, so we got to see that. But
yeah.
We got to recover from Celebration still next year.
Yeah. I've got a whole bunch of stuff, so I'll wait till later on in the show because there's a lot of giveaways, a lot of people that didn't make it through. But as you guys saw, we were on the floor when the actual saw the new Star Wars San Diego. Well, I wouldn't say San Diego, but technically the Black Series new packaging and everything. Saw the Star Wars team on the floor. Every Hasbro team, they may get out front and center in front of people.
Wow.
So
But was that a Star Trek badge that you just held up though?
No,
I couldn't see it.
It says I think this is the 50th year Star Wars that somehow something must have happened with that. And again, I will save the Star Wars stuff for SKN.
And Scott, even if it was, why would you bring that up? Like, seriously.
I could have sworn I saw a Strange New Worlds logo on there.
I
There's
get it,
something,
man. I
but
get
there's
it.
a lot of goodies, a lot of things we're gonna run through, a lot of freebies, so you guys will feel like you were
Yeah.
there.
Awesome.
Got my Comic-Con backpack that he gave me, so all these little things that we can just go out towards the end of the show.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad that we're all here. I'm glad that we're here to kick off the Monday weeks of streaming, because you know what? It's been a roller coaster ride ever since last Wednesday. Actually, it started with this whole thing. And before I bring in the pit and everything, because they're all here waiting to go. We are going to talk about it all, but we're also, gonna, like I said, we got some deep dives, we got some thoughts, we got some news.
Whoa,
all that stuff.
Stop the presses. Stop the presses.
Yeah. I see it. I'm like, wow. Let's bring it. If you guys don't know what we're flipping out about, Star Wars and Brews, $100 super chat.
Thank you so much, Star Wars.
Wow.
Oh my God,
dude.
Thank you so much.
Very, very humbled by that. We appreciate that so much, man. And I know there's more to get to, but I just thought it was right at the bottom of that thing. So thank you so much, man. And I hope that we have a good time tonight. This is all about our collections and collecting and everything. And not only are we going to bring in, it's going to be mainly the Hasbro offerings, but there was a lot of stuff that happened over the Comic-Con weekend. But tonight, of course, there was some discourse, there's some happy tears, there's some sad tears, there's some arms folded, but there are also some bright futures, and we'll get into that. So if you are feeling kind of bleak about the line, because there are some channels out there that went dark, if you will, you know what I mean, then I think it's a little I think it's a little premature, but we have to get into this, okay? But let's hit these guys up first, man. We got Stu John Jedi was first. Look at Stu John. They didn't even delete your comment, man.
Wow. How about that?
We got James Morrow checking in second, but after Stu. We also have Mr. Star Wars 1138. Hey, I'm third. Had to sit around waiting for Stu John and James Morrow to finally post so they could be third. I love it. We're gonna have to get some more emojis going in there, especially the late emoji. Late. I think all of us need that same one. A syndicate late. I think that's a good idea. We've got new Anakin Skywalker. Hello, Sarlacc and Scott. Only Scott Solo. Yeah.
Okay.
What's up?
Whatever.
Hey, Commander Bly, member for 10 months. Power of the first. Dr. Jones, looking forward to the live stream, especially the chat. You guys are a right. Thank you so much. Special shout out to Dr. Jones, because you know what? He was feeding me a bunch of interviews that were from the Comic-Con floor that we did get some really cool insights, guys. And that's why I'm actually pumped and excited for future. And a lot of things will make sense by the end of the show. So thank you, Dr. Jones, for that. I love getting feedback. Like I said, our pit is an extension of the show as is, and they do find gems out there.
Absolutely.
Ray Stanley checking in. What's up? We've got Movie Tuber. What's up? Cancel Pong Krell. We need Lobot first. My man. That's all
right. Someone can ban Movie Toy Tuber.
Yeah, we got just banned.
That's the smartest thing that's one of the smartest thing he's ever said, man. I like that kid. Hell Runner, what's up? First.
Up?
Stu John flexing. Also, power of actually being first.
Shots fired.
Star Wars and Brews. Good evening, everyone. I'm gonna put every one of Star Wars and Brews comments up there, man. It's fantastic. Dana, what's up? As I want my TVC figures. I expect the characters we need from the movies live action shows needed to be made ASAP. TVC all the way. Yeah, there are some explanations that were had, and we actually needed to hear them. And here he is again, Star Wars and Bruce gifting 10 Star Wars Sarlacc Digest memberships earlier on. And congratulations to those 10. And again, man, thank you so much. That's you're making our night really special tonight, man. Max Rebo Experience. Hello there. We've got Adelphi Rangers. What's up as a pilot? Completionist. I'm pretty bummed. I have to drop $140 on that Kenner painted X.
Do you have to, though?
Well, as a completionist, and I get it. At the same time, that's what. Anyway, we're gonna get into that, and that's gonna be a topic of but I get it, man. I get it. Let's see. Dana's in there. We have Dr. Jones. We have Michael Galupa. What's up? Replay gang checking in. Hype for all the San Diego Comic-Con reveals. Queen Amidala stole the show for this prequel kid. And thank you so much for the $5 super chat, Michael. And yes, hit us on the comment section below for the replay crew. And yeah,
shout out my
Queen
editor in chief, Michael Gallupo.
Love it, love it, love it. And we've got Awful Risk Vader. It says live in 3 minutes, but I'm here now. I know. Let's see here. We've got John Graber, the space jockey. I spit on Black Series. However, I will buy a Queen Amidala for my
I'm screenshotting that. I'm
screenshot this.
That.
Oh no!
She was her first Halloween when she was 4. I think that's awesome. Yeah, it's we're just gonna say you still bought it. Doesn't mean if it's for somebody else, you still bought it. So yeah, welcome in, man. And of course we got Raul checking. Long live the Queen. So cool to even though we knew she was coming, still cool reveal.
Absolutely.
We have Cult of Christensen.
What up?
What's up? Checking in. And let's see here, man. I'm just scrolling down.
There's too many.
I know. Rhino Hobbies. Greetings, mighty Sarlacc. I love it. We've got B-Some. What's up? What's up, everybody? That's awesome. Basil G checking in. What's up? We've got. We've got
so many people.
JJ Frank. Do the dwarf. If you've seen Tommy's Blitz Transmissions show from last night, he did his Blitz Brigade show. The hashtag Do the Dwarf. We'll have to get into that. We're referring to the Spider Dwarf, guys. So relax, you two.
So
it's Spider Dwarf,
a dwarf spider droid in Black Series and TBC, and I was like, oh, we love our hashtags. Riot for Rada, calling for Carson. Do the dwarf. Wait.
Yeah,
maybe we shouldn't have
there's some
that
hashtags that just need to go through HR first.
Secure the spider. Maybe that's a little better.
Yeah,
maybe
I think
that.
so.
Yeah, that would probably be a little better.
Squish the spider.
Yeah. Commander Bly, $1.99 super chat. Pay to win first. You did.
Wow.
You absolutely did. Late. Here we go to the late. We just caught up to the beginning of the show. Late. Yes.
Jeez, we're just now catching up. You guys are nuts. They're up.
R&D
Super
Collective
chats are flowing in. It's a rainbow in here tonight.
I love it. R&D Collective. Hello there. A weekend was hard. Got my TVC pre-orders purchased today. Padme and Rada was purchased expeditiously. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think Padme was up yet, right? Padme.
No, they all.
TVC
the
Padme.
Vintage Collection. Yeah.
TVC
Oh,
Padme.
you meant Queen. Okay. Yeah. No, she's
But
not going to be out till next year.
Yeah, my head always goes to the Black Series because
Yeah, of course it does. Okay, Mooch.
Because scales. I don't know. Yeah, because of course it does. Oh man. Let's see here. Going. You guys are chatting it up. And there's Scott with his spamming. I'm surprised he wasn't timed out. Got Lockstar checking in. Hi everybody. What a great weekend. I hope everyone was able to pre-order everything they wanted. Everything that's on pre-order is still up. So if you missed it,
dude,
you're like, oh, I missed it. It's still there. So.
Did you see Black Series Marok pre-sold out in under 30 minutes on Big Bad Toy Store?
Did they really?
Yeah. Just
on Big
Marok.
Bad? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's back up on Pulse, by the way. So if you
I had to get mine through Pulse because I missed it on Big Bad. Yeah.
Nice. Man, I'm okay. We got Max Rebo.
Hang on, Mooch, you're a world builder. Join us.
The world he's building is the Sarlacc Digest. That's the
yes.
I can't just yet. No, stop. I don't want to. Max Rebo experience. You can't spell Lobot the goated without Holdo. I don't like
that. Is a true statement. That is a true statement.
Yeah. I agree.
You guys, I'm gonna.
All the letters are there.
Man. We've got Bolts checking in. What's up? We've got General Genobi. What's going down?
Full house.
I know. Mando, Mike. It's all crap. Crap, I tell you. Even if it was good, he'd be in there. Yeah.
He rage quit the line long ago, so it's all good.
Renoaz, what's up? Checking in. We've got Clink. Evening all. Dr. Brantley is in there. Hello, everybody. Called to Christensen. Yeah, hello, Unks and Tommy.
What up?
Tommy's an Unky, actually. I think if you go by the street slang, I think
my little brother, my 15-year-old brother, told me that now that I'm married, I've officially hit Unk status.
You are,
so,
yeah. We're OG status, and you're Unk status. So
yeah,
these kids have names for everything. Hal Runner, what's up? We've got.
He knows why.
Jerry Starchild, no HasLab. What the heck? Is it over? No more ever. We will talk about it. There was some news, and we have been saying that there is one coming in 2027.
We're
but
hearing
now the question is like
conflicting narratives now. Conflicting narratives.
Now we're getting Hasbro speak, right?
Yeah.
So
yes,
we'll definitely check it out. Nicholas H is in there. We've got Santo 1414. Man, guys, this is gonna take up like the rest of the show.
we could spend 2.5 hours just shouting out the chat, huh?
I love it. And of course, again, I had to highlight it because I just got to it. Star Wars and Brews, $100 super chat. Amazing. We got Chet Maddox in there. We've got Max Rebo, Liam Ryan. Yeah, that's my super chat. Oh man, let's see. If I miss anybody, please call it out, guys. But I think I'm getting to the bottom. I think
there's too many.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Check those super chats, Mooch. Those starred chats. There's a bunch of them.
I will. Yeah, Dr. Jones just became a member. Heck yeah. Thank you very much. And
nice.
Let's see. We got Alejandro checking in from Mexico. Nice.
Wow,
love it.
Nice. Welcome in.
Joe Barnes. Joel Bob.
Joel.
Hello,
what's up,
my
Joel?
goats.
What's up, Joel?
Can't wait to do the deep dive. Yeah. Commander Bly, $1.99 super chat to the dwarf. Hey, he paid it. I have to say it.
It's my favorite.
Matt Logic, and now we've got Kilo Golf Whiskey came out. He's a member for a month. Flex that.
All right,
Dude, hell yeah.
Wow. Okay, so
New
Trying to
member,
catch
Gen
up.
X Brian.
oh, Gen
What
X
up,
Brian.
GXP?
Gen X Brian.
Welcome in.
That's awesome. I appreciate all the new members, guys, and the existing members, and everybody who's donated. This makes our Mondays really special. You know what? And
if you could pull up Riley Bob's super chat,
did I miss
it's
one?
not like he's glazed me or anything. I gotta.
Where is it?
Go to the starred. Go to the starred messages.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
It is.
I apologize for
Tommy's
missing.
wrap-up vid. Kid makes great points.
If you call me
Oh,
kid
that's
again,
the
you
only
call me
reason-
kid again, you're banned. All right. Call me kid again, you're banned.
Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. All right, so I don't know if there's that much more to talk about, but no, I'm kidding. But how we're gonna do this? Okay, we've got graphics and stuff. We've got stuff that we're gonna go over, but we do want to hit every section and give the appropriate time to really react to a lot of things, because there is a lot of things that happened over the weekend that had people really questioning things, but also people really happy, and the future of collecting too. There is some lights at the end of the tunnel here. We're going to start off with the retro collection. Now, they did say in their blurb that the retro collection would have something, okay, and maybe that's something bled into the TVC, which we'll get to in a minute. But the promise of a retro collection 2027. Do you have that graphics? Look at this. That's a lot of figures for 2027.
I am
For
so
Scott.
freaking ecstatic about this.
Yeah.
And first off, also let's mention the fact that the retro collection set did come in at Target this week. You could probably pick it up at your local Target if you are like me and an old head that loves this crap. $65 for 6 figures. I mean, the best value out there. It's fantastic. So
yeah.
We've got, what is that, like 27 new figures coming, and
I think it's
3
quadrupled its
things?
output, more than triple, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm very happy about this. Thank you, Stu John. I
Look,
appreciate that.
Yeah, there's obviously a market for it, you know what I mean? And it does make sense. You know, Scott and I had a discussion a long time ago when we first started the ToyChest. It was the whole notion of continuing a Kenner line in a modern way, and they did it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, it's here, and like either people go
I love
all
it.
in. Exactly. So there is a set of collectors that do the retro collection, and being the 50th anniversary, it makes sense that they're going to kind of go with that Kenner attitude in a separate line, which should not affect anything else. Okay, let's put it that way.
I do want to point out
as I say that. Yeah, go ahead.
One would think.
I do want to point out that Target did put my order on back order, because I had 2 pre-ordered through Target.com. They put it on back order and then made it unavailable. So I ran up to Target, and there was about 6 of them on the shelf. So I bought one, canceled.
I just wanted to see you.
Officially canceled, I guess. So whenever Mr. Stevie asks, "What do you mean things are getting canceled?" That's what we mean by things are getting canceled, homeboy, and it's always Target.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What's up, Meeks? Kenner should be the kids line. It really should. I do believe that. I believe that.
Bingo.
I believe that.
Yeah.
So we have there's 4 official lines of Star Wars.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But let's put it.
But only one goes to clearance regularly, and we know which one that one is.
Yeah. Well, I'm honest, do we? Because they all go to clearance. I do want, because this is a good bleed into now. This was Friday, guys. Okay, we're gonna how we're gonna do this is that there was some tripping out the gate.
Yes, there was,
and it's not just us saying that. It's not just us. The collective was like, "What's going on?" And this is during that Hasbro breakfast on Friday before the panel.
Press breakfast on Thursday.
Thursday. Thank you. And it was kind of one of those things where people were head scratching. Now, for those of you that do these, kind of like the retro look and all that stuff, cool, man. The X-Wing is always awesome, but the Luke, like and this is a great point. Where would this fit in a TVC collection? Because that Luke is not what are you going to pose that Luke with anybody else, right? This is
just going to stick his helmet on and put him in the ship. Yeah,
this is specifically a novelty, nostalgia collector's thing, right? But obviously it's not. It's nostalgic in the sense that they're just trying to repaint something and call it nostalgic, because to me, an actual nostalgic would be reissuing the X-Wing, electronics and all, with the Luke X-Wing, you know what I mean, as like a retro collection offering. That would have been cool. I think that you would probably got a lot more people going, okay, I get it, right? So, this was a very, very controversial step out the gate.
It was a dumb move
to kick things off.
It was a dumb move because, you're looking at something that isn't quite retro, isn't quite vintage collection. It takes up the slots, premium boomer bait. It takes up the slot of a vintage collection vehicle, while the actual accurately painted one is sitting at GameStops and on Amazon available still. Yeah, it's also $140. It does come with the 2 figures, which the other one does not.
Right.
But still, it's just... It ain't cool, man. This ain't cool.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's not just us saying it. It was across the board. A couple things sprinkled in here and there. People are happy about it, But
our friends over at SWTBC did a poll on their Instagram, gauging the interest. They have about almost 20,000 followers on Instagram. They said, "Hey, do you like this? Do you not like it?" About 80 to 85% of the responses said, "No, I don't plan on getting this. I don't like it." I really liked what Scott had to say. As somebody who is into the retro line, I can totally be biased because I don't collect retro. I don't really care. I have my one shelf of Kenner figures. I don't really care to collect it beyond that. And so I really like how Scott put that. It's not quite TVC. It's not quite retro. It's weird in between. And I also just want to point out, if you want this, we are not trying to downplay you as a collector wanting this.
I don't.
This is just our opinions on this release. We all just happen to agree that we don't think this was a good idea, especially for such where we're already in a world where people are choosing a little more choosy about what they buy, and prices keep rising, and wages aren't keeping up with the prices. Was this a good idea?
I think there's a way, and you can collectively, we could probably all brainstorm on a way of a nostalgic offering or stuff like that, right? That to me, like I said, repainted X-Wing, okay, by itself, but that Luke with the Kenner colors, it was almost like what they did in the Black Series with that Greedo and Obi-Wan.
Right.
It was how was that going to fit here other than something that's just, I don't know, a gift or somebody. I don't know. It's weird.
That X-Wing could have been repainted to be Carson's, could have been Colonel Ward's. It could have been any other character, Trapper Wolf. It could have been any other figure or any other character's X-Wing. Yeah. But this is what they stuck us with. And Mr. Stevie also ran a poll gauging interest in this. And it was overwhelmingly 85% people said, no, we do not like this.
What's up, Night Rex? Yeah, well, what's it's funny too. Stevie's been doing those YouTube things on his channel, right? He was talking about the
On
process
Sundays.
and everything.
Yeah.
And I think a couple weeks ago he was explaining existing tooling, and redoing something. Meaning the figure, if they're going to do an offering, it's a baseline. This is how much going to cost us, and then it's pennies on a dollar to reproduce. And I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. You've already told us that's why you do these kind of things, because it didn't cost them a lot to do this offering. It's just, and it's a lot of people said it's a money grab, but it's 100%. It's getting the most out of that mold. But I mean, okay, I get it, but at the same time, there's obviously some people that are buying it. Not a lot.
Yeah,
but there
are people. Yeah. And one other point I wanted to make on this, and then I'll drop, that's where I stand on it, is with a release like this, talking about Mr. Stevie's Sunday live streams, a point that he brings up week in and week out is people go, well, why don't we have this in TVC? Why don't we have more figures? Why don't we have more? And he constantly says, well, it's because TVC doesn't sell as much as Black Series, and we need to grow the sales in order to grow the budget and get more figures. This kind of a release only appeals to people who either like or grew up with the Kenner style, meaning they already have collected or do collect now. This isn't something that's going to grab people who have never collected Star Wars before and bring them in. That's where this release is for me. Exactly. I agree.
And I had this notion of too, there's a couple more things that we'll get into, but it's almost like with these kind of offerings, it's like a company that doesn't know what else to produce, and they're just starting to grab at things. You know what I mean? When you're sitting there going like, we give you a list every single week. And we're going to get into that whole character selection a little later, but there are some odd choices out the gate. You know what I mean? And sometimes like we needed this punch out the door in a better light. Go ahead, Alex.
On this one, I don't think they didn't know what they were doing. I think they actually did know what they were doing.
Yeah,
and they were like, let's
reuse
reuse the molds, and that way we can get another use out of this, because that put in a whole bunch of thought. Now, if they would have done it with maybe some form of an anniversary packaging, maybe it came with a Marvel Star Wars comic or something, or made it like
that
it was a true offering or something, then we wouldn't be upset about it. But
you're
just change some different colorings and slap two figures in it, and then charge us 140. When, like Scott was saying, you could still get the last one that's still currently sitting in Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, GameStop, all these other places.
Absolutely.
That was a very intentional move by them.
It is, and it's getting every dollar out of those tools, those molds, right?
But there are so many.
You could do it with different characters.
Yes, I agree, Scott. There's so many in universe. I mean, look at the big example that I brought up, and I see plenty of people, is the New Republic X-wing, same ship, different paint, and it's shown up in multiple seasons of The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, the new movie that just came out. There are there's so many of these. And you could have just slapped that, and people would have been over the
you would have really got your money out of those molds.
Carson Teva's X-wing.
Yeah,
dude,
come on.
And if all you got to do is swap out Carson's arms, because the jacket will just come right off, and you've got another carded figure.
And guess what, Scott? They made that new X-wing pilot 4-pack a year or two ago, so you already have the arms. There you go. Boom, boom, boom.
This right here, Bowser, this is what irked me the most right here. Basil G says, did Mr. Stevie do the poll before or after the X-Wing announcement? Because he did it after. That was the thing. It's like, here's the offering. Do you guys want this? What do you have? Oh, no. It's
well,
opposite.
he was actually, he seemed very surprised that the feedback was so negative on it, the reception, because he and Chris Reif, who is the lead designer for TVC, I have mad respect for Chris because he designed the HasLab gunship. I will forever have much respect for his attention to detail. They are both huge Kenner fans, and this is Alex brought this up on last week's show, and it's one of my favorite quotes right now, is sometimes it feels like the team is making the things that they want instead of listening to what the customer base, the collector base wants. And but
then they blame us when it doesn't go right.
Well, straight up. I mean, there was an interview I saw. I think it shout out to Imperial Communique. He was at the press breakfast and talked to Chris Reif, and Chris Reif said, well, with the 50th coming up, we thought it would be a cool idea. The team, him and Steve, thought it would be a cool idea to put it out. And it just is one of those that, while it was cool to them, to the masses, it just unfortunately didn't land.
But here's the thing that kind of I think concerns me the most is that Mr. Stevie was clueless about this, and your job is to not be clueless about it. So that means that you're not out there doing the due diligence, and you're not actually talking to the fans and seeing what people want. And that's the problem when you have someone who is he's doing Sunday shows and everything. You come off extremely clueless. But if you're out there doing market research, you're talking to people, then you should know what you should be putting things in my hands and Tommy's hands and Scott and Mooch's hands before we even know we want it. If you're on the pulse of it. But this lets me know that they're always 5 steps behind, and that is very worrisome.
Hasbro Pulse is not on the pulse. James Morrow, I'm fine with Hasbro making Star Wars toys that other people want, but I don't. Everyone doesn't have to like everything, guys. You are 100% right on that, James. But the only issue that we're bringing up is the fact that this is already available.
Yes,
the X-Wing is already available.
There you go. You got a point
right now.
It's also that, but also again, it's not just us saying it was about 90% of people,
right?
And if you're gonna say, hey, it's success because that 10% bought it, I mean, hey, I want everybody to have everything, and if you guys think it looks cool on the shelf, and that's awesome. Because novelty things are talking points in collections, and we all have them. We all know everything has a story, right? But like me personally, that didn't scream retro to me at all because it was TVC package. It was everything TVC. It was just a Luke with yellow hair, and that was the only real difference.
It also just bugged me because then we got the announcement on Friday, what we just covered with retro, that they're quadrupling the budget for the line. So it's if you would have put out, I mean, I know a lot of Kenner collectors already have a legitimate Kenner X-Wing, but if you would have put out maybe a new version, maybe Wedge's X-Wing, or maybe,
a retro Wedge's X-Wing would be fantastic.
And you would put a retro, that would have, I think, because I will not, retro is one of those, I will not, it's not my thing, but I will not sit here, and I make my jokes, but I won't actually make fun of people that collect that. I think that the 50th is a perfect opportunity to put more energy into that line with the big anniversary.
Exactly. Well, and I guess someone made the comment of he said that they're going to be doubling down on that kind of offerings later. Well, I mean,
it's to be expected. It's the 50th. They're
especially
gonna keep
next
doing
year
retro repaints. Hopefully,
well, like I said, with the Black Series, they did it with Greedo and Obi-Wan and Boba Fett. Right? They had those 3, and the Jawa, right? And I think they did it for the anniversary of Star Wars 40th. I think it was or something like that. And
it was,
and okay, but I don't know. We'll. I don't know. We're good on
so that was the negative thing, right? But what were some of the
or
positives
TVC
that came out of vintage collection?
There was positives.
Wait, for vintage collection, are we sticking with vintage collection? We jump into Black Series.
Let me do this. No, we're gonna do this now. Vintage collection. Let's go with what was revealed on the panel because again, love and hate. This section of the panel was love and hate. But let's bring in what they offered, and then we'll get the grand picture of what's still out there and what needs to be shipped as our updates. So the panel went off, and the three my co-hosts there, plus the Great White North Empire was on Tommy's stream, and they brought us live coverage of the Hasbro panel on Friday, which was great. Your guys' chat was on fire. I thought it was fantastic.
It's great.
Just being able to be there when we're not there, right? So the big news of it was the end of the Battle of Geonosis. The notion of the end of the Battle of Geonosis in bulk, I think. They did promise some more is coming, but it's going to be like a little bit of offerings, okay?
Right.
So the first off, they had the going back, of course, they threw the Amani for Mando and Grogu, which is great, looks great. I was sitting there going like, man, maybe I need to get one of those. Even in GVC, looks fantastic. Yeah. But of course, the rest of the figures now, a battle droid leader to coincide with the Clone Wars leader that they have previously done, an individual package to super battle droid, and of course you have your 3 heroes of the Battle of Geonosis, retooled, repackaged and everything. And for those 3, Obi-Wan, Padme, and Anakin, this was a topic of discourse because a lot of people were not expecting those 3 characters to close out the Battle of Geonosis as a whole.
Yeah.
You know, I know that it's people loved it, people hated it, and they wanted more of it. They wanted either, some new characters, new offerings, and everything. I'll put my 2 cents, even though, like, again, I'm not a TVC, collector, but my 2 cents is, I do believe that the 3 of those with retooled and everything should have been a 3-pack offering as what's coming later. Like those are hey guys, that's coming later, because those are the heroes of the Battle of Geonosis. So, and I love the fact that Tommy brought up, he loves those characters. He wants them in because he missed out on older characters that have been out. Great. We always say put them out, but a 3-pack offering of the heroes would have been great. And then the hit campaign, because I'm just going by future campaigns and that notion of let's really massage this battle, this planet, whatever it is. But then also we have these offerings to get people caught up. And of course you have your hero lines and that your opportunity to retool things and get people into the collection. That other than that, it's Battle of Geonosis as a whole, the arena battle. That's what we'll have to call it. It's the arena battle minus arena beast. Yeah. I thought it was good, and TVC is going to start moving on from that Battle of Geonosis after this. Right. With a couple of things sprinkled in here and there. So you guys, it's your floor.
As a TVC collector, I pre-ordered Padme.
Nice.
There we go. The rest of it, it doesn't really interest me, but that Padme looks great. I love the scarring on the back. But yeah, that was it for me, man.
Yeah, I think for me as a TVC collector, new TVC collector, this was a great wave for, just to offer a bit of perspective on this. The Republic gunship is the reason that I'm collecting TVC now. And that is not just me. It's my dad. It's plenty of you guys in the chat. Like I saw SW Evan in the chat earlier. I saw several others in the chat I've had conversations with. I've talked to dozens and dozens of people. This is just people that I've talked to over the last year that have gotten into this line and are backlogging old figures and buying new figures because of this HasLab. Yeah. Because they chose to build out this scene. Yeah. I think it would have been a big disservice to the people that are on board with this new program to not do the mains. Now, I do agree with Mooch. Mm-hmm. Yeah, these probably could have been a special action figure set of the 3 figures, no cards or anything, and I'd have been cool with that. I'm happy that these are updated figures on the latest articulation. They have alternate hands. Padme with the battle damage. That was one I never thought Hasbro would ever touch, and they did it, and they did it well. The battle droids are awesome too, because again, like Mooch said, you get the battle droid commander to coincide with the clone trooper commander, and then you get the single packed version
it
of
rhymes,
this guy,
right? Like poetry.
which is one of the, in my opinion, one of the best TVC figures of the year, the super battle droid. So, cool. So I pre-ordered 18 of these guys, and I pre-ordered 2 commanders, and then Obi-Wan, Padme, and Anakin, and then my dad pre-ordered 1 of each from the wave. So
nice.
Yeah.
Good for you, man. That's awesome.
Alex?
Yeah, 2 things. Yes, there's 2 doctors in the house, and yes, both of them are actual MDs. From that point, I will say the thing that I was a tad bit, I see disappointed about is that when you tell me it's a Battle of Geonosis and you give me this thing and then you start shooting out posters. One, the absolute asinine thing of not having enough posters at that event for that, and you didn't think that fans
did they run out that quick?
Within seconds.
Wow.
Within seconds. So it's like they went down to Staples and just printed out like 150 and said, all right, so
that should be enough.
That was not enough. That was not enough.
Just give me a dozen or 2. That'll be fine.
Yeah. But also the same thing is when I wanted to see them do it as a grand scale event. Yeah. And there still needed to be more characters involved. And I think by them saying, well, we're closing it out or something, it's really kind of quick. And, it's not as satisfying as when they build it up. And I think that's what they have to do. They need to not get to the point of just saying, let's give these 10 or 15 offerings
Yeah,
and then we're done with this.
Look, the knee-jerk reaction is, oh, we have those already. That, again, without diving into it, really talking about it and stuff. And that really did put a lot of people off, because I watched the chat thing. I watched a lot of people's reaction, and it was like, Padme, Obi-Wan, wait a second. Where's all these other, like Yoda? Even Yoda has been done, but at the same time, people want this. And again, so I can relate to it, and I can understand both arguments. I really can. But I mentioned this a few episodes ago, was the notion of when we talk about the battle of, or certain scenes that we always talk about in Star Wars, and you can run the gambit of Star Wars. Okay. Yeah. You can even say Mando and Grogu at the Battle of Hutta, right? And formulate that. I like those little concentrated efforts on completing things. So for example, like if I look at the Battle of Geonosis as a whole, and Tommy did a great graphic, and you put it up on your stream last night, was you had all the figures that were from day one from Battle of Geonosis as a whole. Again, minus Arena Beast, because they're part of it. And maybe Yoda and a couple other little characters here. It's actually a really, really good offering for that little pinpoint. Now,
for
Battle
the
of Geonosis is huge.
Right. The limitations of what Vintage Collection can offer in a year. Yeah. I think it's decent, but there's room for improvement.
Yeah, Sven, 7. Yeah, exactly. Overall good, not great, and it could have been great. Yeah. Again, there's a lot of things in the TVC panel that people wanted to see. They only made it about Battle of Geonosis, and I think people wanted maybe a broader spectrum.
Broader strokes.
Well, you got the thing to make something great. Don't settle on good. And that's where I think that the team was like, well, it's good that we got this out. But it's like, no. When you say Battle Geonosis and you make a poster and you actually have somebody draw something on a napkin, make it grand, make it an event. And if they would have done that, there would be no one arguing with it. But it's like, it's a good event, not a great event.
Yeah, and you want it to be home runs. You want everything to be home runs, and
you got to have it as home runs.
It coincides with the level of attack that they had for marketing the lat in the first place.
Yeah,
exactly. It was lackluster, right?
I love this,
so they just kind of dropped it.
Yeah, I wished it would just say the start. It was the start of the Clone Wars kind of.
And here's the thing too. One thing, and maybe Tommy. This is one thing I think they do on all lines over at Hasbro. If they would have maybe offered some more of this to build up to the LAT campaign, I think it would have pushed more people into getting into it. It's kind of like the same thing they did with the Arctic Hiss tank. By the time you said Snowcat, well, there was nothing up to that.
Right.
You would have just planted out a little bit more. This figure's dropping, that figure's dropping. Guess what, guys? We're building to this main middle section. I think you've got more people excited about and would have done some actual marketing for the actual HasLab.
Yeah. Or if those three figures were at the beginning of the campaign, because then you're like, all right, let's get the common sense figures out of the way, and then the obvious ones. Just like what the Cantina thing was like. Oh, Cantina's obvious, but welcome in Zangar Fake. Our best versions of Yoda and Coyote have swivel elbows. How they weren't updated here is beyond me. That and
I mean, dude, Yoda is the one that lands on the lead gunship. He's the one that lands on the first one. Yeah.
I think that sprinkled in stuff is going to be a Yoda, definitely a Yoda, and
Yoda, Mace, and
I don't know about Mace and Kai. I think it's going to be.
I feel like Mace is too essential. He's too essential to that whole scene.
Yeah, because they did
Jango's head off. Yeah, he cut Jango's head off.
Yeah.
But they just re-released Mace Windu. What was it? 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago. They released him. So,
but here's also the thing, which you had thought, Tommy, if they would have just said to end the campaign, because here's the thing to make it like you want to have the excitement. At the end, it was kind of like, all right, they did these characters. Maybe if they would have saved the very last announcement as the Arena Beast, that would have hyped up everybody else.
Dude,
that would have talk about hyped. I would have jumped off the balcony, dude. I would have like just swan dived out the window.
I was expecting that. Like I that was my prediction things going forward. Now they did there was another offerings too on TVC, which were pretty cool too. Let's get into it. Where is it here?
Let's bring up this one more time. Let's look at the Amani Deluxe soldier right there.
Yeah.
It looks good. I mean,
I think it's fantastic. Actually,
it's relevant. You know, we've got, instead of doing a man, they went with the Amani Soldier. That's fine. We've got, you know,
Clucky
half
Star
the mold
Wars.
there if we want to do a man later in the future. But from there, since that is Mando Grogu, we're going to dive deep into Mando Grogu right now with
Hashtag Riot for Rada. War is over. War is over. We got it.
That was a very short war.
Yeah. Now, again, I look. We all were expecting it. Rada came in both scales, you know, balanced the scales and everything. And this Rada now, and when we get into the Black Series version of it, there is two distinctive versions. You know what I mean? And and Alex had hands on with them, so he can tell us more about it. But fantastic offering. I think getting into some, you know, the new media stuff, like say with the Amani, you know, Snake guy and Rada the Hutt. And the what was that ship called too? The
We're almost there, buddy. We're almost there.
Yeah, but I mean, what's it called?
INT4.
Thank you. It was two different offerings. So you had the Battle Geonosis offerings, and then you had a Mando Grogu offering. And again, to not take away from this, I think people were expecting a little bit more broader strokes, but this is a definite wave offering. Both of them. Like you have a wave of Geonosis, you have a wave of Mando Grogu. Rada looks fantastic here, and this looks great, guys. This looks so good.
He's the only other one I pre-ordered. I pre-ordered this because I gotta have him in my collection.
And I gotta say, $45 for this guy, not bad. Not bad
at all.
Yeah. JWC, what's up?
What up?
Yeah, let's see. Rada was chanting for that. Absolutely. Yeah, Star Wars and Bruce can't complain about either. Rada, they are peak. War is over. No more Rada. Right for Rada. Yeah, that's
well, I know the San Diego Police Department were very happy about that because they were in tactical gear outside. So when Hasbro said that, you know, hey, they were doing on both lines, I saw officers immediately taking off shields. And everything else. And it was like, okay, no riots happening. So
he wants to be his own man.
It's like, can we believe him or not?
They saw it. They were watching the live streams too. They had their phones out. It wasn't like they were doing anything else.
Are you sure those weren't cosplayers or that was actual?
No. Let me tell you something. Some guy thought it was, and he was spending the weekend someplace else. They weren't cosplayers.
Well, I've seen some things go down at Comic-Con. Yeah, I believe it 100%.
Oh yeah,
there was actually some footage out there of fights at panels.
Yes.
I saw that.
I was like, come on, guys.
Sword fighting. Real sword fighting. I've seen all kinds of stupid things happen.
Not the LARPing they do upstairs, right? Because that's cool too to watch.
There was some guy that even Tommy would have been like, "Whoa, man! If you had one too many." I thought it was like cops in Las Vegas. That's how stupid this was.
People lose their minds, man.
Yeah,
guys, I do think now. Alex, did you have a chance to? Did they have this one on the floor for examining?
They had both of them. Chet was there the day that was afterwards. I had walked around, and I got to say, Matt, props to Tommy and actually to Chet because the Star Wars team actually recognized us. So that was kind of like a little point. And so
we hear you guys talking.
Yeah, I was like, how does that Rada? And they were like, oh, okay. And they were letting other people touch the product and everything. And I got to see both of them. I will say, I thought the offering for TVC was far superior, and that's the one that I actually did pre-order myself.
Wow,
nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, because I know you have some concerns about the Black Series Rada, and we'll talk about it. We'll definitely talk about it. But the articulation on this, you know, it's different than the Black Series one, but the tail has, I think, some, and of course you have your basics, but his mouth does not open, comes with his gladiator axes. Again, $50, guys. It's better than that Embo thing, which I don't want to.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, I know. But another one. This was awesome. This was awesome.
I am so excited about that.
Surprisingly, I loved how much detail they packed into this.
A new, smaller vehicle, which makes perfect sense. And I was like, oh, all right, this is cool.
Yeah,
I've been hunting for a second INT4, a vintage one to open up and put in my display. And whenever they did that, I called off the hounds. Man, I'm like, all right, right on. This thing is awesome.
You know what's
Yeah.
funny, Scott? You gave me one. I have.
Did
a
I give you an
loose-
INT4?
Yes, you
Nice.
did.
Nice.
Oh, or did
I want
you?
it back.
I don't know.
I want it back.
Wait a minute. Maybe that was my other friend, Scott. But you don't have any other friends.
Yeah, this was a
Um,
pre-order for me once I saw just how much detail they packed in.
Oh, yeah.
To this. Well, it hasn't gone up for order yet. What am I saying?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
His money's already spent in the future.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know when this goes up for sale?
August 13th.
Okay, cool.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to again. That's one of the great things about the Discord is you keep up with all the latest
Yes.
pre-orders and links and everything as soon as they drop and everything. But yeah, I mean that rounded up the TVC panel. Again, with a little bit of a notion of controversy going through and everything, and there were some people up in arms, and there were some questions here. Now, before we get into Black Series, there's some questions.
Yeah.
And it even pops up into our chat at times. Was a lot. In fact, it was even brought up to Brandon and Chris from the Star Wars team asking about TVC and the future of TVC. Is it dead? You know, they're like, and the answer is like an outstanding no, overwhelming, absolutely not. And in fact, I think even Chris from the team says he'll pay off his mortgage before TVC ever ends. You know what I mean? That was a good notion for them. And they did have a lot of things to and again, shout out to Dr. Jones for sending me the interview from Yoda's
shout out Dr. Jones in
news.
chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Yoda's news was on the floor as well, and they had a great interview, asked the questions that I was really enthralled with, and they were talking some hard decisions that TVC and Black Series, as Star Wars as a whole, they have to make, and especially when it comes to added new stuff all the time. So sometimes they don't get a chance to complete a team because a new team is on the heels, and they have this kind of balancing problems of trying to like complete one, introducing another one, going deep in other lines, and things get on the back burner. But they did say something that was very promising to me and kind of turned some of my, feelings around a little bit, was the notion of we want to get to it. We get to things and we're going to get to things. It just will take some time. And I get it, but at the same time, still ask for things. They always said that too. Make those polls, pay attention to the polls, engage in the polls, because those help a lot. So if Lobot skyrockets to the top, they will go like, all right, look, we can't wait any longer. We're going to have to put him in a way because Moocher's really going to lose his mind. He put a poll out, and 3 people wanted him. So
I'm very excited.
Way more than 3.
I'm very excited for what they said about TVC. We didn't really catch it when we were watching the panel because a lot of times Brandon or Chris would be
I love that.
Praying for Chris.
There's no way he's paying off that mortgage at Hasbro. Believe me, he won't be around that long. Don't get that. He better just get to the point where knock the nice 18 months off that. But
that's funny.
On that.
But I do think for when a lot of times on the panel, Brandon or Chris or Eric or whoever was speaking, they'd be talking away from the mic. So when we were watching the live, we couldn't catch it. But then when we watched that pre-recorded replay, they went into detail and shout out to Great White North Empire, who Mr. Stevie reached out to do those amazing graphics, by the way. The campaign posters, all the Cantina patrons are viewing the posters. And they said a big focus for them next year is going to be items, not just figures, items that will support all 5 of the existing HasLabs. That's been a big critique from the vintage collection community for years now. I can think most particularly with the Ghost, right? With the Ghost, it's like they did the Ghost, they got you the later seasons crew, and other than Agent Callus and slowly drip feeding the seasons 1 and 2 versions of the main crew, they haven't been giving us a whole lot. So I hope that we get to see, and they even teased a 3-pack of characters for the Ghost, which I hope is Old Man Rex, Wolf, and Gregor. I think those are 3 that would pair really nicely.
That would be cool.
We still need season 1 and 2 Ezra.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So I even said Hal Runner. That's such a good idea there. An item, a Phantom 1, an early seasons Phantom that also works with the Ghost. That would be a great additional release.
Yeah, exactly. No, I like the fact that they are, and we will do the HasLab talk because there is some HasLab news or lack of news or changing of the news or whatever later on. But the fact that matter that they are taking a look at existing collections. And what have we been switching to our gears, guys? We're going to take a look at our collections. Our collections should make us want to collect. They should make us the happiest, not what the offering is in the latest live stream. Those are fun, and we want more of that stuff, but we really want to take a look at our collections. Now, G.I. Joe Classified does this with their HasLabs, right? They have support offerings. They have support and years. So now Star Wars is going like, we want to do that too in TVC. So they're taking the 5 HasLabs, and they're going to start making companion pieces that built around those projects, which is like awesome. I think that's a given. That's a given that they should always be doing that. 100%. You know what I mean? And they did talk about things about just because they sculpted them doesn't mean it's a waste, which had to be fist pumping for the Rancor. But and I
loved. I mean, G.I. Joe. It's even to the point like they will bring back the sculpts of previous HasLabs to support newer HasLabs for made to order, like the Arctic Hiss to go with your Snowcat. Yeah. Now on the TVC,
they did say the tooling's not there, but at least they put effort into creating a character right off the bat. So therefore now they can get to it and stuff. But the figures that were released with HasLabs, they said the tooling's already there. We definitely could get them into mainline carded, TVC numbered, stuff like that. So great notions, great responses, honestly, from the team too. Actually, rather than saying, do you guys want that? Or is there a need for it? No, they're saying no, that we see a need and we want to do this and we want to bring that little concentrate effort. Right. And the fact and the notion of like Star Wars is taking a kind of like a longer periods in between projects as far as new stuff. I think that's good news. I think that's good news for collections.
It's good news to breathe. Yeah,
it does, and that's what it is. Too much, too fast, and like someone even brought it in that interview. They brought up Wrecker, basically finished the Bad Batch, and they're like, we should have. To me, I'm like, you should have done it. Then you shouldn't have never. That's a main character. That's not a side character that you can eventually get to. No. You don't have. I understand you have to make an offering, and then you have to go on to the next offering, and then visit if you're getting to it, but. More of that concentrated look and like, all right, like say for example, Starfighter, if there's 4 main characters, get those 4 out, out, exactly. And then maybe a couple supporting, and then revisit. Like I think Mando Grogu waves are doing very good on both lines.
I really don't see them sitting too much. The troopers are always kind of ones that.
Oh, I mean,
sitting,
yeah,
those are troopers.
Now Shadow Lord over, but anyway, on TVC wise, because Black Series, woo. Let's go into Black Series, man. I thought Black Series won the. Oh, okay.
Not with this.
Wait. Here's the thing. They still won, tripping out the gate. All right, guys. They fell on their faces. Now this. Okay, let's talk about this. The offering. Okay, cool. I love it because this is what should have been done. 2 months ago when they released Embo for the first time. Yep. And we got zero reasoning why Embo is released by itself, because honestly, even in the initial wave, they could have waited. They could have waited for Embo. That's honestly, people would have said, "Where's Embo?" And that was it. But to release them, and people bought the first editions, and then release them on the regular packaging, and then to come back 2 months later and say, "Here is Embo with his dog." For $60, guys, $60. So
cloth skirt too. So
and it's not the same Embo. Yeah, it's not the same Embo. Cloth goods. They changed. They changed it. So this was something that was a very, very like what's going on, and really, again, both lines really kicked off the week really just in a bad footing.
This frustrates me for a whole different set of reasons than what the X-Wing frustrates me for. The X-Wing, I think, just was an ill judgment, right? This, for me, is frustrating because this is like dirty money. Because they know everyone wanted
they know the numbers
version, and the release itself is super cool. The 2 biggest things that bug me with this Star Wars improves that it was intentional. You can't pretend that this wasn't intentional to get people to double dip. And this is an issue. I brought this up with the vintage collection.
Unbelievable.
They do these three pig, oink oink. They do these 3 figure special action figure packs. And then within the next 4 months, they're already drip feeding you the single carded versions of those figures. This to me is that same vibe where it's like, if you're going to do it, don't do it so soon. And what I really can't see is how the dog and this big empty box that the two characters are in costs
Yeah.
$32
$33.
additional dollars of value. This is more than a Black Series 2-pack costs by like $5 or $6.
Yeah.
That's
But
what
you
really
see-
blows me away.
But you see, this one has a cardboard graphic in the box.
Cardboard!
So there you go. Cardboard
Sure,
backdrop.
man. Yeah.
Stu John
Yeah.
Jedi, $2 super
Just
chat.
like that
Cancel
Rancor.
Coyotes. Thank you, Stu John. Yeah, it's going.
Yeah.
It's going to that expensive animal and like new tooling, new all that stuff. It's great. This is
Well, I
a
don't
great
know about
offering.
new tooling, man.
Well,
You know,
this.
maybe the head, but
No,
I'm pretty sure
oh,
some
the
of
body?
the articulation of the dog and everything was done over the numerous dogs.
Oh,
they've
sure.
done on the classified.
Can we
So,
borrow this, guys? Can we borrow this, Lenny?
I'm
When-
sure they kit bashed a little bit of this. It's better than that stupid coyote that came with
Yeah.
our buddy Dusty. But look,
Yeah.
this is one of those things where I hate to tell you this, but hey, listen to Uncle Storm. You know, wait,
Yeah,
play the long
He
game
did-
on this one.
I didn't
because
buy
I
Embo.
knew they couldn't help themselves from doing this. And they've said they're a corporation and they're gonna do things corporations did. And when I saw it think about dog, I was like, no, I'm gonna give one thing that Tommy and I both talked about, which is very true. They could have waited. If they would have waited at least another 2 or 3 months, people might have forgot about the first offering and they might have been good with this. But
Zangar,
to do this
yep.
within less than 60 days of one offering
Yeah.
coming out, and people still haven't gotten that character in hand. Oh, that's like Tommy and I both say, that's a slap in the face to
It's a
collect.
slap in the face to collectors.
The dog used to be like the snake eye. Yeah, we and like I said, what's next? A individual offering for the people who bought the first Embo, right?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh man, that
I-
would
You know,
really
if they
just,
did that, like Zenger said, though, if they did that with the Anzellans and maybe
Right,
Grogu
yeah,
or something
yeah.
like that, then I mean that would
Yeah.
I'd,
Well,
I'd
and
pick
and
that
that,
up. But I'm
and
not
the
buying
dog.
this because I just found Embo. He's still
Yes.
on shelves.
we
It's
have
ridiculous.
4 Anzellans in the movie. The dog interacts with them directly.
Yes.
It's a direct interaction with their little speeder and everything. And what kills me is I'm also starting to notice a trend with Black Series that I really am not a fan of. I know there are people out there that prefer the way that sculpted plastic looks over soft goods. However, there are applications of soft goods that just functionally for the action in the action figure work so much better. I heard from so many people that this first single pack version of Embo couldn't articulate worth a damn at the legs because of that skirt piece being so hindering at the legs. And it's like, but then people go, oh, but I like the way the plastic looks so much more. And at that point, I would say, buy a statue then. If you would rather have it
I mean
hinder
that-
the articulation, you know,
I'd rather it. You know, if I had my choice, I would want more articulate. I would want more articulation out of a character rather
Yeah.
than a statue. But I understand the look because again, I'm a love hate. I think when it's done correctly, like the Emperor Palpatine. Or
Yes.
like
Yeah.
this soft good Embo. I think it's
Right.
done fantastic, and you cannot go wrong with it. But when it's like full on soft goods, like everything, it looks like a marshmallow.
it
And
should
if
be
it's
case
full
by
on plastic,
case.
it's a statue. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
100%. And I think
And-
they realized that, and they rushed out
with
Embo,
Embo,
because
He's such an acrobatic character. That's not
Oh,
a character
yeah.
that you should have it so his legs can only be straight. You know, that's a character that needs that wider ability to be in those deep, wide, dynamic poses.
yeah. It's like giving a manga guard a rubber cloak. Exactly.
Yeah.
Or any of the like Anakin and stuff, right? Now, you know,
Yeah.
if you're gonna just just really restrict it when you want to pose it out, you know, otherwise they're just like A-frame hero
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
I
Zengar
agree, Zengar.
stock goods is 90% of the time also in TVC. Yeah. Well, anyway, so again, those two, the X-Wing Kenner restyle and the Embo, again, I think
It was
the
a rough
Embo
press
figure-
breakfast.
it looks fantastic, and
It does.
that's great. But that's the whole we knew this was coming. We knew it was coming. And I figured, like, man, they could have just waited. They didn't have to put Embo in the first round.
6
could have
months.
been that
Give us 6 months, man.
Yeah, or I don't know. I can't understand why I would want to. And if I had to buy, I mean, you know what I mean? It's just like it's not a Clone Wars offering. It's a Mando Grogu offering. So
Right.
it's like, yeah. Anyway, that was one of those things where it really like Comic-Con really got kicked off. Like, what are we in for? What
Yeah.
are we in for? We're bracing for the worst because again,
Press
that was at
breakfast
that
left me with an upset stomach. I'll put it.
It
that
was-
way.
It left
Yeah.
a lot of tubers with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
But
you know what?
Scott brings-
I'll say
yeah.
it. I'm still gonna buy this, and that's what
Yeah.
kills me. It's like
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
still
I am.
gonna buy this. Yeah.
I am, because I never bought the first one.
I know.
I wish I was you.
Yeah.
You
I
can
never
return
bought
it.
the first one
You
either.
can
Yeah.
return it, put it back into the
What's
Yeah.
Big
Keep the
Bad's
box
return
in the box.
policy? Let's look this
Yeah,
up.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
you know
But
what?
then-
Actually, that should be a policy, though. If a company,
Mhm.
the same way they do this with other items as well,
Ooh.
like you buy something and there's a return policy. I guarantee that if there was a return policy on if you put a figure out too early, and then there's another deluxe figure that comes behind that, and people were able to return that to Hasbro Pulse, they would start spacing out and do an appropriate amount of time
Yeah.
for when they do something like this.
Yeah. 100%. Shout out to the 98 people that are in our chat right now.
Whoa!
You guys
Ooh,
are
that's
loving it. I loving
Hit the
all
like
the
button.
conversations. Yeah, smash that like button, guys.
Smash that
And if
like
you are new
button.
here, subscribe and everything, and
Yeah.
keep this conversation going again because this is amazing. What's it, Agent?
Agent Pringle.
Agent
Agent
Pringles.
Pringles. That's what they mean. Okay, but they produced and time released both Embos close to proximity to it. Exactly. But welcome in, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like, again, that was just, what are we doing? It put me personally into this mood like, well, they
Same.
better wow us at the live stream, because if this is going to be more of this,
Yeah, dude.
whatever, and of course the notion of going to 2027 with the anniversary, it's getting a little nerve wracking. But
Yeah.
Scott, bring up the panel.
Oh, we got
Oh,
this.
yeah.
No.
Now,
not
if you
the panel
thought
yet.
the Embo was bad,
Yeah.
This is where I'm going to say. Okay, I have something to say. Now, Sith Lord 299 had the privilege of revealing this on their website, and I thought they, congratulations to those guys for getting a reveal. And
those guys are
this was,
awesome.
yeah, and they were all really cool, and they were very excited to have a reveal and everything. So I want to bring attention to them. This was leaked a long time ago. The build a clone, okay, and the price was leaked. $50. Build a clone, Black Series. Now, here's the thing, and here's where it kind of got a little hairy. And this was last Wednesday on their channel. Is that their reactions were like very blah about it. They're like, too expensive, not for me. Thank you, but I'll pass. All so much so that Brandon himself had to come into the chat and try to save it, try to salvage the reasoning behind it. And you know what? Credit to Brandon for coming in and taking some questions and fielding questions and staying on for about 40 minutes. Honestly,
Well,
as he sat at the booth.
PR kind of sent him,
Well, hey, oh no,
PR.
100, dude. Because you know what? But that's the right move. That's exactly the right move. Okay, they don't like it. What's going on?
Yeah.
How can I fix this? And they did it live. Not even like coming back with something else. Like a Q&A after. And they were saying, and I guess the takeaway of this whole thing is that Amazon. This is an Amazon exclusive, and they took a chance. This is something that Amazon was asking for, and Hasbro decided to take a chance. Now, I think the biggest pushback was not really thinking it through. Now, who is getting this, by the way, in the chat, you guys or whatever? Like, you're getting
I'm
one
ashamed to admit.
because it's a clone. I mean, it's a clone that you can customize yourself,
Well,
basically. I mean,
I was looking at it and I'm like, one thing is this. You have the opportunity as somebody who reviews action figures to offer your opinion and offer the feedback, hopefully constructively. on the review. I still I like this idea on paper. This
I think it works better on paper
for a figure. I would love to see a Stormtrooper version of this. This is something that is really cool. There's a lot of options for it. The packaging is fantastic. Like, there are cool things about this release. Once again, like the Embo set, a big gripe for me is the price. I really don't see how there's more value than a 2-pack of action figures in this set. And I also just think there could have been better. Ban him. Just get him out of here. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. There's this is one of those where I feel like this was obviously existing tooling 100%. There was no new tooling that went into this. I think it's unfair to say, well, they should have done this new piece or this new piece or this new piece. And then it's like, but then people would be saying, oh, the new piece is behind a paywall or this and that. And I think it's unrealistic to look at the budget for this was clearly parts they already have. My thing is there were better choices that could have been made that are also parts they have, like the ARF Trooper helmet or the rotary cannon. Like this guy comes with the rotary cannon. That would have been such a good idea for an inclusion in an accessory. The Republic Commando blaster doesn't make sense. The ARC Trooper pauldron without the backpack attached and you just have the empty pegs hanging out back there, that doesn't make sense to me. There's things you could do. I can actually make a couple different clone troopers from the Star Wars Battlefront video game with this pack, and that's probably how I'll end up displaying it. But yeah, this just to me, it again, cool on paper, but the execution just wasn't there with this one for me.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, this one for me, I saw Chet gave a brilliant point. Is to build a bummer and everything. I'll say my analogy to this is like, it's like the Wizard of Oz. When you went all that way to get to the wizard, and then they revealed and it was like, this is it? Like, are you kidding me? It's like, yeah, you're just a charlatan. That's what happened in behind this too, is that they could have put it, and I don't mind them using a bunch of reused parts.
Neither
they
do I.
could have given you more. They could have done some other features, maybe a sticker pack or something, or something that would have made this a little bit more. I think the packaging's good, but when you do that opening up to the offering, it looks very lackluster.
And that was the sentiment around thing. Everybody's like, oh. Because again, this was kind of leaked a while ago, just kind of like rumors and stuff like that, and I think the notion of a build a figure that you can customize things, and here's the thing, maybe it works on other IPs, and I don't know, maybe this was a test for Star Wars, guys, where having new characters that aren't in like movies or whatever as just a background, like created characters, maybe it just doesn't work too with that notion of like, I'm going to build a character that has any screen time. Maybe Star Wars is only a screen time thing. And I can probably say, probably not. I mean, you probably can get some different kind of, aliens that were descriptive in books into a figure line that weren't, you know what I mean? Maybe there is something there. But I do think it was probably of too fast of a notion of like, oh, we can do this, let's do it. And then because we have the tool, we all have the parts, we just kit bash it together.
I do want to point out it is important to mention that Brandon did explain on the Sith Lord live stream what the thought process was behind this release.
They did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently it was Amazon reached out to Hasbro and said that this was the concept that they wanted to do. Not the parts and everything, obviously. But the idea of this release. Yeah. And I actually did see a lot of customizers, like Action Clone Trooper customizers, which is a big community in the Black Series community, especially, that were saying, yeah, I'm actually in on this because not only do I get just a blank clone that I can paint right on, I also get a bunch of accessories that I can use for other customs I want to do. There's a little bit more for a customizer in this than there is for you or I who just wants to slap a bunch of accessories on and put it on the shelf.
Sure,
but I think they shortchanged the customization.
I agree.
And if Amazon did go and say they reached out and said that they had the Star Wars teams itself was the one that didn't understand customization, because what they could have also done was partnered up with a plastic paint company as well. You could have made this where it's like, all right, here's what we're offering, all these characters and a blank canvas, and then you could have said, now you can buy it on Amazon, but this is also the official paint partner. And here's the brushes and everything. If you're going to make it a customization pack, then doing it such a way through marketing, because that's on you, that's not on Amazon.
Right.
That you could have really expressed that. And it kind of just do something where it's like, I hope you got the paint. I hope you have the brushes. I hope you know how to do this. There's no instructions, but when you take a look at Mattel and they had their Skeletor Jimbro, there's a actual weightlifting guide on the back of that.
Yeah,
that kind of shows you had the opportunity to really make this a customization pack and bring in that more. And that way you could have. How many other lines across the Hasbro line could they have gotten away with that on? Because people would have been all in.
My thing is the price. The price was like that. here's the thing about, Stevie says, where's the value and who perceives it? Well, I do not see the value in this kind of experience with one body and just some. I'm not going to use all of it. And it's most of the stuff. I have a drawer full of those parts. I have a drawers full of accessories. Yeah. That's why like a lot of like the Mezco stuff that comes with so much SH figure, you don't even get to that stuff. It's more like you put it together and you put it on the shelf and you forget it. So $50 for a build a clone. I love the notion of a build of whatever, or to customize whatever. But the price point really kind of puts that wall in front of you. Go like, I'd rather have something. I'd rather do something else. Go back to the drawing board, and a lot of people in the chat are saying like accessory. Before we need any kind of like build a clone stuff, but we need accessory packs, force hands, more hands, and different kind of weapons and backpack.
Well, now I'm questioning how much damage cost. Like with the prices of these, with the price of this, I'm wondering. You
don't need articulate. Yeah, I
would it cost an arm and a leg to get an accessory pack?
If they offered a $50 accessory pack, but that accessory pack came with, say, 50 items, would you guys
have to buy that?
Yeah. Like guns, all the stuff is 50 for 50 kind of stuff. I think that's an interesting way of going about it, and Amazon could have led the charge of like, let's do this,
Well, let me get your actual application ready, sent over to Hasbro.
But anyway, let's go on to the actual live stream offerings for Black Series, and look at all the black and red, guys. Black and red, such a so cool.
Reminds me of Christmas.
Well, right off the bat, guys, the Shadow Lord was in full effect.
Yes,
Maul Shadow Lord. We got a new Merrick from the other one from Ahsoka that they canceled, or they stopped producing it.
Yeah, they didn't do a second run of him. They only did one run.
They just canceled, or people had orders of that first Merrick, and on the third party, he's going for outrageous amount.
$70 on the aftermarket for that original one.
Exactly. Who's that? Gar Saxon. Come on, that looks great.
I got a bone to pick with Gar Saxon though, Mooch.
Yeah, you do. I know exactly what it is.
No rifle. Yeah. Come on, man.
And he got what is it? The Commando. What's his name?
Kebris.
Yes. Part of Maul's team, and Icarus, and that means Scorn is coming, his brother.
I hope so.
I absolutely love. And before we get to Rada, but one of my favorite and probably my Black Series top 10 most wanted, Mother Talzin is here, guys. That put a smile on my face. Just that, almost like that alone was worth any reveal, because again, that was part of my Black Series most wanted. She should have been in the line a long time ago, but I get it. Let's go. I'm
glad they waited. She is an amazing
looks
figure.
Great.
I mean, honestly, in my opinion, one of the biggest missing characters from the Clone Wars show.
Yes, 100%
in the line. And dude, it's so funny. I was just saying last week on the show is that I would love if Hasbro would move to themed waves. And guess what they did for both TVC and Black Series? Yep. They did a Battle of Geonosis theme, and even though these all aren't from the same show, all of these characters directly interact with Darth Maul. So I like this.
And they're all dead, by the way.
This is exactly what I was talking about when I said it doesn't all have to be from the same show or the same scene or something like that. Broader strokes. This is a Maul wave. You know what I mean?
The Maul wave. Yep.
Yes, and it's something that can appeal to different collectors. It's not all just, if you only like the Clone Wars, then you'll like this. I like stuff like this. More of this, please.
Yeah. A lot of people
she's
know.
One I pre-ordered, so
cool.
I'm in.
I pre-ordered the whole wave. Yeah, I'm in.
But Gar Saxon's rifle that he wasn't in, and Tommy made a great point though. The missing rifle that he had basically 90% on his during the show. I used it all the time, and it's not there. But dude, they're just gonna read $60 version of it later on.
$60 version will come with Season 7 Bo-Katan, and then boom, there we go. Yeah. It'll come out in 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the thing too. Rada on both scales. Our predictions came true on this one. We got the fully articulated Rada the Hutt in Black Series, and of course on TVC, and this had the articulated mouth. They are trying some new tech with Black Series, which is much appreciated, especially with a Hutt. You know what I mean? Because again, you can take the concept. Now I know Alexander is going to have a little bit more of a different opinion because he got hands-on this, and maybe what they might have to change. But the notion of like they can do this and maybe do it a little cheaper rather than a fully articulated, full hut body, that we can get the twins, we can get, all kinds of other huts that are in Clone Wars. It's a good offering. It was $79, and you get 2 extra hands, you get a bunch of weapons, and you get Rada, of course. And he looks great. He does look fantastic.
Yeah, I will say, like I said, a couple of key things to this is, one, I think the technology part on just the mouth and the eyes, I think that's next level. That's very much close to like,
Hot
forms
toys.
of some of the Hot Toys and some of the imports. So I like that part. His whole slug tail and everything. What has me worried is it felt very similar to the Maximum Hulk.
Yeah.
And I know that plastic did not hold up well, and that's what had me worried. I was like, oh, it feels a little too lean, you know.
Yeah.
And so I think if you're going to put it on your table and it's just standard, I think if you're going to multiply use it or something, I do think you may start getting tears. And also, I don't think this is a figure that survives like 20 years like some of the older characters did, because I don't know if that plastic is going to hold. I think you will find out down the line that plastic tears and everything else.
Archaeologists will not be finding the tail in thousands of years from now.
Yeah, so that's what worried me about it.
Yeah, interesting. That's always a risk for that kind of stuff. That's why like the harder plastic, the PVC, what they use and stuff, it does last a lot longer. Hopefully that's in consideration. They take that in consideration. Like I didn't know if there's that much backlash on that, and if that's the same rubber they're using for the Maximum Hulk for Marvel Legends, if they're trying to universally and
see
put some additives in there.
He thought it was more like Gargantos. I felt completely different. I felt it was more hollow than because Gargantos, when I picked it up, I was like, wow, and it felt like some weight to it, and I was like, I just felt a little different. This felt a little light in areas, and I was like,
because it's a skeletal frame inside,
and I'm like, I don't know if it's going to hold up long to like vigorous use.
Well, not out here in the desert we live in.
Oh, so, no, definitely
as dry as it is. Yeah, it'll disintegrate.
And see, like Rick Jones said,
then tearing around the torso. Yeah, I mean that's one of those things where I have to do a recall. I'm surprised there's not a recall on that Maximum Hulk. It's
can I get my lifetime warranty on my Rada tail? Can I get
another $60? That's right.
Does that come with my Pulse Premium membership?
Yeah. Oh,
it should.
By the way, what sucked is that I did the pre-orders today, but my Pulse expired today. So I had to spend $50 plus the.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
mine expires in August.
Mine expired months ago. I just bought $75 worth of stuff.
Yeah, because again,
covered shipping. So.
Scott let me know that if you guys on anybody Pulse any order over $75, you get free shipping.
So basically, 2 figures nowadays.
Yeah. What's up, Cassidy?
Much.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So I mean, look. Overall, as far as like the Black Series waves of what you could pre-order and everything was fantastic. Before I get into the HasLabs, there's one more thing I want to talk about Black Series that I am really thrilled about.
Hang on.
Oh, this is important.
This is what I'm thrilled about. No, this is cool. Beside the ATRT Clone Wars exclusive that they had on the floor that will be available August 10th, I think it is.
Yep, August 10th for Pulse Premium, August 11th for everybody else.
Yes. So we get our Imperial Remnant ATRT from Mando Grogu, which is fantastic because I'm like, okay, now I have a choice.
Did you see the price on this?
It's what is the price?
$68. It's the same as the TVC one.
Ooh, why is that? And what's the what was the exclusive? 80?
$80.
Why?
Jesus
so that's allegedly. This is going to be $67.99. Now my thing is this. I gotta say, I have it right here in hand. I have 2 of the TVC ATRTs.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, I think TVC is still worth
I know what you're
the
gonna
same
say.
price because the TVC includes 2 things that Black Series doesn't. You have this wonderful blast effect, and you also have this articulated stand. A big part of the ATRT as a vehicle in the universe is how athletically they move. Like they jump, they're running, and that's like a big part of those
The
vehicles.
opening of Mando Grogu,
The Black Series, you won't be able to get these one-legged or just completely in the air running poses. This stand can support the weight of the vehicle very well.
Right.
And so I would argue, I was really shocked to hear that it was the same price, but I do think that this one is better as a toy because you could do more with it. So I still think,
Gotcha.
it's
I
not.
understand.
It's still crazy to me
saying.
that they cost the same. But yeah.
No, that's just shows you how much of just a little bit more plastic actually really is.
Yeah.
It's not that the two lines are not that far apart anymore, and that's like like I said, everybody has their personal preferences on scale and stuff like that. It's when does that go on sale? Do you guys know?
The 13th, I want to say. It's like
okay.
I feel like every week in August there's like a thing or two that goes up for pre-order. So you really need to get into the Syndicate Discord, link in the description, because we will have those purchase links at the ready as these things come out.
Yeah. And that's the first thing I'm going to do. Is I'm going to put it in a running pose, and if it can't hold on its own, I'm going to make a stand. As simple as that. It's simple.
Wait, what do you make stands?
I do. I absolutely do.
Where can you find said amazing action figure stands, Mooch?
So before we get into like the mega news of the stream, link in the description below, guys. Head over to Moocher's 3dprintinglab.com for all your figure stand and display needs. And something spooky is coming this Halloween in honor of the 3 new Black Series Halloween figures. And I will say this: those prototypes, take those out of your mind because it changed, and it changed
big time.
It changed
Big
for the,
time did it change.
It changed for the good.
He's been sending me some promo.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
So we'll have more news on those later. But yeah, hit that link.
I will say, if you see all those classified figures in the stands right there, all of them have Moocher's 3D print.
Yeah, all the earthquakes that we have.
I only use those.
Every single figure in my collection has a Moocher's 3D print lab stand. So
get like us. Get the best stands on the planet.
Be more like Alex.
Yes, be more like Alex. What do you guys want to do? HasLab or Black Series? Well, since we're in Black Series, let's
keep it the Black Series.
Okay. So one of the biggest things that we have been talking about, the revitalization that was needed, especially for Black Series. Now, we did talk about both lines, TVC and Black Series, but I think we all agreed that Black Series needed something more. Bringing back the notion of a premium figure, the term Black Series, the Black Label, that was like, this was going to be a really cool offering moving forward, a brand new line, everything like that. And I think we all collectively, I think even the Hasbro team agreed that lost a little bit along the way. So being 13 years old at this point, the notion was there, but even with the new head, scans, all that stuff, it just was starting to get into that, just a figure line. And it is exactly on the surface, it is. But that whole Black Series thing, and so the team sat back and they are launching a new era for Black Series, kicking it off with our queen, the Queen Amidala figure that we all wanted. It's again probably the most my Black Series top 10 is getting made, and it was announced. And my God, look at first off, the figure is amazing. All those promo shots that they took, it really looked premium. The packaging, to me, were spot on. This is a new look. It's a refreshed look. It doesn't look plain. Doesn't look mundane. It's not going to look old on those pegs. You know what I mean? It's not going to look old if you were just the notion of buying. Now, I open all the figures, but I understand that eye candy to buy. You know what I mean? Outrunner, of course.
Contrarian base.
But they're also bringing back the card backs, kind of like little wave backs of where, like, if you look at the last photo there, the Queen Amidala upper left, you got 5 more spaces for that wave of figures, which I thought was absolutely needed to bring back. I love it. And yeah, guys, I'm thrilled with the notion of a rebrand like this.
It needed
absolutely, and it looks fantastic. I love the fact that they did the Phantom Menace logo up at the top. That's great. Alex, you actually held this in your hand.
I did not. No. I did not hold the packaging in my hand. Brandon held in his hand, and Chet was able to snap photos.
Snap
I sent that over to you,
Gotcha.
but I did not hold this packaging in my hands. No.
Just out of curiosity, is there? It almost looked in some of the images like there was like a pearlescent sheen to
Like a foil.
To the name, like a foil cover on the Queen Amidala. Could you tell if there was in person?
I couldn't. Yes,
Okay.
Chet, and like I said again, I did send you over the photos of that. That it looked a little bit like, it looked grand. I will tell you that. The white really pops off. And so, like, this is one of those things where normally with the Black Series, because it was so much of a dark packaging, it's hard to see across the room. This is when, Scott, you're a graphic designer, this, that hint of white jumps across the room. When, you see in those photos when he held that up in front of the crowd at San Diego Comic-Con on the floor, you could see that hint of white. And you're like, wow. So that distinct part now thinks it will come off the stands even better. Because sometimes when you walk down the aisle, you're like, okay, you're looking between that and Marvel, and it's like the very kind of like low colors, so you don't see it. I think this will help pop off on stands, or if you're in you're buying things at some community show or something. I think you will be able to notice that packaging a lot more predominant now than you did before.
Yeah. It looks expensive, right?
And she's all soft goods too, isn't she? I mean, that's what they were saying. The entire dress is soft goods,
other
right?
than the shoulders. The entire dress is soft goods.
Again,
and
and it's weighted. There's going to be a ring on the skirt, so it's weighted, so it's not going to fold up or whatnot.
Nice.
Now, I think that's a great addition. I think that particular figure is much called for, and to kick off the new branding with that figure, I think it's great. I know a lot of people were talking about they're going to miss the mural design, but you know what? Like that, they went from the black boxes to the red boxes to the plastic-less boxes back to windowed, and so it's another transition over to these figures. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when we're presenting this and they were kicking off with that Queen Amidala and they're doing the photos and everything, almost looked like movie stills to me. I really felt like they really are taking their time to be like that notion of these are premium figures. The presentation is premium, even though we are going to get the continuation of Black Series, but we're also going to pay more attention to Black Series and getting those details for a definitive, so that this doesn't have to be re-released as a new updated whatever,
Right. Part of what Brandon was saying during the panel itself was, Star Wars also is very well known for striking profiles and characters.
Yes.
And having the profile of the character on the side of the box instead of the mural, I think it's a great decision, and it's actual product photography. It is not a profile of the character itself. It is the product. I think it's an amazing choice. I like
the direction. Let's just put it this way. For right now, for what they gave us, it's a move in the right direction, honestly. Like, because we were discussing packaging rebrands and how can it they go flashy like Mattel might do with the DC stuff. Are they going to go more plain? You know what I mean? Are they going to double down on the murals? It's
right. I think it expresses a certain level of confidence in the consistency of the quality of Black Series now.
That's
by having actual promo images of the actual figure on multiple sides of the box, it speaks to a degree that I don't think we're ever confident in before now. Right. But it's also going to speak to making sure you get details right, because if you have the figure on the box and something isn't correct, that's going to be a big deal. Now, and my other thing to the murals, the murals are indicative of the time. That's an era of Black Series that is closed, and they say that with the new era. And by the way, how many times would the details on the murals be wrong? Where the clone trooper's holding the stormtrooper blaster, or the character is in an animated style instead of the live action. So I think this just eliminates that inconsistency, and I really like this.
Steve John, Howlrunner Bates, you're gonna have to step up your game since Hasbro's taking those pictures. By the way, if anybody does not know, Howlrunner is a celebrity here again for the Sarlacc Digest and on Hasbro. really throw his name around a lot. They're like, you know what? He doesn't say really good things in chat, but he takes some really good pictures.
Man, this guy sure is one for a hot take.
Congratulations, Hell Runner, for being recognized and toy photography once again for the second year straight. You are our champion. So I wanted to make sure that he got his proper
big pipe,
huh? So. Big pipe. But yeah, I think it's I can't wait for more to happen. I think she's going to be number one on that list. Now, I think the notion of a numbering system on Black Series was going away too. But
there was no number on the packaging,
right?
Which is completely fine.
But I do think
okay.
Yeah, and I do think they're keeping the theme of like that orange hash on there. I think that's going to be a color theme per movie, stuff like that. So you'll be able to still separate them out, keep them.
It's just funny because they showed this and then, everything went on pre-order today and I'm looking at the packaging that they all come in. I'm like, wow, that's boring. That's just the old packaging now. I'm like, I'm done with it. Let's go.
Exactly.
Let's go.
It was said to me once, it was referred to as the bland series.
The bland. And that was, again, it's, people are all in. It's like Tommy said, it gives you that confidence in the line that you're collecting that people actually like, even if they don't collect it or whatnot. Like I said, I'm jealous of TVC packaging. It's got the mirrors and it looks great on the shelves. Yeah. Black Series looks like a bunch of white red boxes. And when I remember Mando Mike's collection, I used to go to, it was just numbers, but there's figures there. I'm like, well, it looks. I understand the mitten box collection, but again, having more of a display, more of an open. I think that the side box window displaying the figure, like Brandon said, it was the profile of the figure that was more important than anything, and 100% agree. So
it's about the figure, absolutely. Yeah.
So the two takeaways from the lines, or three takeaways from the three lines, was retro collections coming back strong in 2027. TVC is not going away until Chris pays off his house. And Black Series, they are, maybe he only has like a 1 year mortgage left. So a new era in Black Series, which I love the attitude, I love the notion, and I love that they picked a Comic-Con like San Diego Comic-Con to put that all out there.
Yeah.
Now, the big question, almost every single interview that I saw, and this one's for you, Dana. I saw that asking the Hasbro team was about where's the HasLab for TVC or even Black Series or whatever.
Right.
And they did, and this is what they said: no TVC for 2026, and we are not working on one right now.
Right.
They did express the 2026, like they emphasized the 20. There's nothing coming for 2026, and I think someone did ask them about 2027, and their answer was, we are not currently working on a HasLab right now. What they're doing is that the support HasLab things for the past 5 that they did for TVC, but this is their talk. We did have some rumors in the past that they are working on one in 2027, but did that change? Did they switch directions? Did pricing get to the point? Because they brought up pricing on this, was like, we feel we actually are we're asking too much of the fans to put out money every single year for a HasLab. Right. That's again the quote. I'm quoting them. So is that their way of saying let's concentrate on the collection, which I like to. Concentrate on the offerings and maybe fill those things, and then revisit this notion of brand new things and bigger things moving forward. Again, we knew for a fact they were full steam on something. We know
that they have such a conscience on making sure that they don't ask too much of us and don't drop things where it's too expensive for the fans to have. So we know that's the notion that they've always worked for. And
here's Embo, $60.
No, I think they saw the writing was on the wall. I think the last 2 HasLab campaigns really pushed them out, and then they weren't really marketing them well. And it's a distraction in the middle of the year. So I think it was one of those things where it said, let's cool it off. We're not getting the results that we're normally getting, where people again. It's people believe these are big ticket items. These are fantasy items that you will never get in your lifetime that you wish they made, but they weren't turning out like that for about 2 or 3 years. Right. So I'm kind of glad now that they put the brakes on that. It doesn't hurt that it is saving the fans money in the middle of the year, because can you imagine Last year they ran 2 campaigns the exact
Dude.
same time
Yeah.
as going to San Diego Comic-Con. And with the money that they're dropping, because the city of San Diego is fleecing people like no time before.
That's why they're
you know.
always looking to go somewhere else.
So
every single year.
no, believe me, they need to start. But
yeah,
the fact of it is at least you're not worried about I've spent excess amount of money. Oh my God! In the next 20 days, I've got to pay for this, $300-400 item. So I think that is a smart maneuver.
Yeah.
That fans are not gonna, and also, did you really need one this year? If you start looking at all the offerings they had, you were kind of glad that it didn't show.
When we've been sitting there doing this whole collection first thing and going like we need for example TVC Wrecker, and I know it doesn't compare to a HasLab, and I know that's apples and oranges, but the fact of the matter is if we really are asking Hasbro to let's look deeper into the collections and start getting in, filling some of these gaps that are in there. If it's Black Series denizens and aliens and droids, if it's TVC completing teams or whatnot, getting caught up on Shadow Lord would be nice for TVC. I know people are clamoring for that. I think it is a good way. Like I said, I'm always at the quality over quantity thing anyway. I love I love the notion of HasLabs. I think it's great. They did say, look, we're not telling you it's gone forever, but we're just telling you right now, as of right now, when we go to work, there is no HasLab we're being worked on.
Right.
And again, then that can change next year. They can announce a return of it next year. They can do whatever they want to do, but they really want to make that effort of, we want to offer things that fit, make sense, if they're in, but here's the thing too, is I really like their answer for the support systems for the existing HasLabs.
Absolutely.
100%. I love
because,
that.
and I think that was a great notion of, again, shout out to Great White North Empire for his posters that he did.
Fantastic.
He took all the 5 of 5 TVC HasLabs and he made art on it. And I think that pushed the team to be like, yeah, this is cool. I think we have to live in the moments rather than moving on to the next one so fast and so often, where now, remember how we always talk about this, collecting gets to be stockpiling sometimes. Yes. All we do is pre-order, comes in, puts in the corner. We can't get to it or collect, and it's just too much. And all of a sudden, we're pre-ordering the next wave, and it gets lost in the shuffle rather than take a step back and breathe a little bit. That's cool. Now, again, we know for a fact that they said there was a rumored things moving forward. That could still take place, but also I like if that upfront talk. That's the transparency that we've been asking for Hasbro as an offering to our collections. Then cool, let's have this dialogue. It's great. Now they don't owe us anything by any stretch because they are a company that's offering a Star Wars offering. That's it. You know what I mean? And but I think especially like I said, like Brandon really impressed me this last weekend. He really did, with the excitement in his own eyes and excitement of like, get to that. I was like, all right, I see a little more energy from it. You know what I mean? And I appreciate it. That was me personally. So I think, Jeffrey Frisching, are they going to offer the posters? They should. They should.
That would be Great White North Empire. I would reach out to him. I'm sure he'll do some digital download versions that you guys will
I think there is the notion of they want to. I just don't know how they're going to do it yet. But as far as that Battle Geonosis poster, that might have been a San Diego Comic-Con thing.
I think that was the San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah. It was. They made it very exclusive.
They did, yeah.
You know what would have been cool if they included it with the HasLab if you bought it. And you got
that
the
would be cool.
Remember the
poster.
What did they come with that very first HasLab, Scott?
We had the book. Yeah, the book.
That was cool. That's that notion of like, even the box was what people salvaged the box and they sold it on eBay, but they had the book of the making of and all that stuff. It was an actual project,
Yeah.
And I think like if they're going to take a step back and revamp that notion, cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
I want to. Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I wanted more people to press them on made to order stuff. Like put that in our heads. Like we're cool with the back seat of HasLab, but offer vehicles in these smaller offerings as a made to order and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I wanted to share really quick the Great White North Empire's posters because they are available on his Instagram. There we have and I love the fact that he's got
So
the
good.
back the lat, the hashtag back the lat at the
Yes.
bottom.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
awesome. Then back the bar. It looks great. This is my personal favorite. I think he killed. It's his too. Whenever we were talking about it on the show the
Yeah.
other day,
Yeah.
I love this one. And then of course we've got the Razor Crest right there. Raise the crest, and back the barge, taking it back to the first one. So
Yeah.
I love it.
absolutely fantastic. Great White North Empire. You killed it on this project, dude.
Yeah.
Such a cool guy.
Congratulations.
Fantastic. Yeah, I will say though, if you don't think that your opinion matters, then I take a step back, because like we really kind of been giving them to task about the way they were promoting things and how the lack of from their part, and they made every team at Hasbro. And here's the thing: you didn't have to walk inside. They had an area right outside on the main floor in front of everyone that they had. It wasn't hidden behind some wall or some curtains, and they made each and every one of those teams. When I'm talking about Brandon and Chris and all the rest, and everybody on the Joe team, everybody's out front. And then they were, it was a mandate. They were speaking to everyone, and then they were walking inside the Hasbro Museum, as it was, and then they were talking to people, and they really did not let them duck out.
No,
like normal. They just did the panel. Hey guys, see, and then you don't see those people on the floor. No, they were like, get down over there. And they had out shooting in front of everybody, man.
Yeah, and they told us exactly what, as far as, instead of sitting there saying, well, I don't see it that way, or I really, you guys are asking for this. They were like, yeah, we know. And I think Brandon even talked about, because they asked him, what's a figure you really want in a TVC or, just made? And he's like, Pong Krell. And then he took it back to say something else, because I'm like, we all know Pong Krell's coming. Like, and I think he knew that too. But
he said no one asks for Pong Krell.
Yeah, no one.
Answer.
That's such a telltale, right? That's like, okay, love it. But no, the fact that they had answers, and they might not be answers. Everybody was like, oh, they might not like definitive. Okay, we're definitely getting this. We're not getting this. But there's workaround answers for a lot of things. Look at this. Howl Runner gifting.
Big money bags, Howl Runner.
He's a celebrity. That's what they do.
It does.
Howl Runner gifting Sarlacc Digest
Spread
membership.
the wealth.
Giving back.
I'm tired.
I'm
tired. Me too.
Great, Dr. Jones. Great point, Alex. And they had to do little groveling. I mean, I think, like I said, I saw excitement on the team for that I haven't seen in a long, like as far as the collectiveness, rather than just being like, well, let us know what you guys want us to make and just let your voices heard. And I'm like, everything, every poll out there, and the Yoda's News did mention polls and all that stuff. And so they're Brandon. They were like, yeah, we watch them. We get it. That's what we want you to do as far as like getting that voice heard. And even on the stream they did with Sith Lord, I got Brandon to say Lobot. So it's in his mind. It's in his mind now. It's in his mind. So because he even said, people are asking for Lobot.
Yeah. I did want to really quick cover recent releases, things that are actually in hand now. For Vintage Collection, nothing has come out, so we're gonna go ahead and just, except for the CD, the Comic-Con exclusive 2-pack, it's up there because it's out.
Tommy has some news that all his clones, those 4-packs, have been notifying that they're being shipped. So
I'm streaming for Blitz Barracks last night. And all of a sudden, my phone starts pinging, Hasbro Pulse email, Hasbro Pulse email, Hasbro Pulse email. And all the Clone Trooper 4-packs, which weren't supposed to ship till November, are shipping August 1st now. That is a huge peeve of mine with Hasbro Pulse.
They got you.
Just wait until Christmas.
Me, dude. Yeah.
Wow. So next time we meet, maybe we'll be it won't be for a couple of weeks, and that'll probably be knocked off the list. But from there we go to Black Series, in which case we have a lot of releases have hits. We've got Doom, and what's the red and white trooper's name? Thorn. Plus those amazing droids figures came out.
Droids.
Those are so great.
Ewoks next.
Said no one.
Said nobody
Yeah.
ever. The Imperial Remnant officer from the beginning of Mando Grogu, I do not remember his name. I apologize.
Commander Barro.
Amanda Barro. He has hit target. He is
Yes.
at target right now
I
in
have
droves. He is the worst looking Black Series figure I have seen in ages.
that soft good is horrible. I'm sorry.
It's not just the soft goods though. It's his face
It's
sculpt.
his-
Everything is just.
Well, he
it's
can't
like
help
they half-assed it, man. So.
Yeah.
But and then I did come across the Nal Hutta droid at GameStop yesterday. So
Nice.
that is also out and about. Do we have any other additions to the found list?
Not for
Yes,
me.
the Dogma and Hardcase 2-pack is in hand now. Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
Dogma
yes.
and hard cases in hand. All right, so that will be updated. Right on, guys. There we go.
Wow.
That's it from the world of updates. Of what is out.
Wow.
And of course, the mighty retro collection 6-pack is out. We covered that at the beginning of the show. The best line in Star Wars. The
You can't
retro
say
collection.
that. You can't say that. You can't say that with a straight face.
I can't. I'm smiling. As I say it. It's the one that I love. It's one of the ones I love. Okay,
And that's great.
so
And honestly, that's
Yes.
great. You know, more power to your collection. Let's put it that way
that's
too.
right.
So, yeah, dude, that'd be cool. Dana says I want to see all the TVC mock-ups I've seen on Instagram made for real.
Yeah,
100%.
true that.
Yeah. Well, I think that, like I said, we all been paying attention to socials ever since,
Yeah.
last week when we did our prediction cast and all of our subsequent live streams and all, everything that's happened in San Diego. San Diego is a hurricane of information because I know we're concentrating on Star Wars, but there are so many things that just happen.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more Star Wars offerings out there that, I know Sideshow had their booth, that we had some footage that we didn't get to today, but, we do appreciate Chet and Alex and SKN crew for going out there and getting some footage and going to getting the hands-on stuff. So we do appreciate it. Full-heartedly, even though we all can't be there at the Comic-Con and stuff, is such a hard convention to get to. But it's
such a hard convention to deal with once you're
there. Yeah. But I think that the notion, a lot of people, like the stumbling out of the gate hurt a lot of people because a lot of people just really threw their hands in the air. And I was one of them, not being like I quit. I was just like, God, this is not a good. I'm really trying to champion for you guys, and you're not making it easy because the decisions I can't defend. But they do happen to redeem themselves. We always talk about the 5 steps forward, 6 sometimes back, 1 step back. There's always a back, right? And the one thing that Brandon did say on that Sith Lord stream was somebody had mentioned and say, hey, they all can't be winners. He goes, no, I want them all to be bangers. I want every single release to be a winner. And he was, specifically talking about that clone, pack where not a lot of people were happy about it. And now he knows, like, okay, that wasn't a banger, and he's not happy about the reactions to it, even though it might have been a cool thing. And so I like that sentiment moving forward. It did seem like the Hasbro team had this meeting. We're like,
absolutely,
we need to change our attitude moving forward. And that's how I see it. You know what I mean? Because we only get what they put out publicly, and then we get to react on those things. And from what I saw coming out of Comic-Con and interviews and stuff, I thought it was very happy and enthusiastic about the future of their lines of Star Wars stuff. And the notion of like, okay, we might not get to everything, but we want to get to everything. Cool. I'm good with that. But at the same time, I'm going to, start to really champion for things, I think the taking more part into polls and contests and March Madness, Black Series Most Wanted, TVC things. I think it's important to not let it just go by the wayside. They do pay attention to those things big time. And if you don't see something, then let's create our own poll. Start creating your own wish lists and all that stuff. And it goes a long ways and get people rallying behind it, because I'll leave it with this and I'll let you guys take the floor. But like they said that, hey, because they have put some effort into a character or something like that, they want to continue to put that effort into. So in my head, I went, oh, they have the Rancor modeled, maybe not tooled, but modeled. So they put effort into it. So let's go. And they did mention a Return of the Jedi anniversary coming on the heels of the Clone Wars and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, if I have to wait 3-4 more years, let's go. But yeah, that's my final thoughts of with the reveals. I'm happy with the direction moving forward.
Yeah.
Since we're not just a toy show, though, since there are other things that people collect whenever it comes to Star Wars, were you aware that The Mandalorian and Grogu is coming out on 4K Blu-ray and that it has a Beskar edition?
Yes.
Oh,
That's coming.
Yes.
Do you know
you
how
were,
much the
you were in
Beskar
Iceland, but yes.
Beskar's
Oh,
pretty
no.
expensive and rare.
Ooh.
It is. The Beskar edition of The Mandalorian and Grogu is $219.99 on
Sold.
Amazon. Right?
They're nuts.
It comes with metal posters
Yeah.
Who cares?
Well,
and a steelbook.
you should buy more physical though, because you're seeing everything that's happening.
Very true.
right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you,
Yeah, true
maybe
that.
not Vespar, but maybe it. But I would challenge everyone the way they're seeing everything get knocked off of these channels, and the way with now PlayStation and everything. Go
Yep.
100% out
Ooh.
and buy it, because that way
Yeah.
you can watch it anytime you want to.
Yeah.
My favorite stuff I always buy physical.
Mhm.
We
I do
also
too,
didn't
but-
cover. We also didn't cover the
Cosplay
Ahsoka Jesse 2-pack.
Right.
There was a few other things.
There's a
the
lot,
thermal
man.
Detonator.
Yeah.
It's just too much to cover. And
Did you
it's-
see Star Wars Zero Company is getting a special edition that includes a special version of that Black Series thermal detonator?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So the
Nice.
video game is partnered up with Hasbro. When was the last time that happened? That's
Not
pretty
current.
cool.
Not a
That's
current
pretty
video
cool.
game. Yeah.
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 Not currently. Yeah, I always try to buy physical, more than anything, but I'll buy the basic. I'm not going to pay
Yeah.
$200 for that. I'll buy the DVD, put it with the physical collection, but you guys final takes and we'll get out of here.
Yeah. I hate Star Wars. I hate collecting. I'm
done.
auctioning off my collections.
Can I have that one
Oh,
right
good.
there? Can I have that one?
Oh, speaking of auctioning off collections,
Yes.
I did tell him I would plug this. Please go check out 212 Hunter on Instagram. He is selling pretty much his entire Star Wars collection. He is huge into. He's got a massive collection of Hot Toys, 3 3/4 vehicles, lots of the troop builders necessary for those vehicles. He already has them all. Black Series imports. He's selling everything. So go check out his Instagram page. You could DM him. He's got lots of cool stuff over there. So please check it out.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But overall on SDCC, I thought it was good. But there's always room for improvement. I personally am happy with the majority of the reveals, and I think it's very important as a takeaway to everybody watching. It's very important not to get lost in the sauce on the one thing that bothers you as opposed to the 90 other things that you do like, and it's very important to be able to remain happy with what you already have. If you don't see something that you like, not every reveal is going to be for you. Not every wave is going to be for you. There's joy to be had in what you already have. So don't ever forget about that. There's more things you could do with your collection with third party, with smaller companies, with printing, with all that kind of stuff. So don't forget about that. Don't forget about what the joy this is supposed to bring. If it wasn't for you, it wasn't for you. For me, I'm excited. And I'm ready to keep pushing forward with this.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Alex.
Not so much at the I say with any of the teams, but I will tell you the convention. I will say it was the hardest time to get any kind of exclusives, whether it was Hasbro. There
I
was
heard nightmares,
so much
man.
dysfunction and just a level of just idioticness that I have never seen at the convention. But Jazzware, if people are spending thousands of dollars to fly into San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
One, you should not be, they had the special Slave 1 edition. Good luck to even get those 30 seconds after the convention ended. Hasbro, if anybody was trying to get in line and the lines were all great, good luck. And they had a limit of 2. You need to make sure these items are readily available for people that are flying in and spending the amount of money on hotel rooms, cars, airports, all the rest of this stuff. People were mad and completely frustrated this year when it came to picking up
Yeah.
exclusives.
I heard that. I heard that it was so many problems, even with the San Diego convention itself.
Oh
like Hall H and running out of. This just disaster.
It was, and then also
It's not their first rodeo, guys. Come on,
don't hire felons as event staffing. Don't maybe just don't have guys with gang tattoos and complete pack of morons. I thought they were doing community service, like they told them, like, you don't have to pick
work
up trash.
release. Yeah,
you can go, but that's how bad the event service. They didn't have matching uniforms or anything. I was like, I thought the year before with the staff with red was terrible. Oh, they took it to new levels of stupidity, telling people at the end of the show you can only walk down one side of the actual stairway, and the other side you couldn't. And it was the end of the day, and I'm like,
yeah.
It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen, and it ruined everyone's experience.
They have
red
Steve
shirts are the
too.
worst.
Yeah, the red shirts.
No, now they got black shirts on, and they made the red shirts look like the most competent individuals that's ever walked.
Wow.
That's how bad these guys are. But seriously, if you had if you did some kind of crime, misdemeanor or something, they had you at the convention center this weekend directing people. And I'm not lying to you. They 100%
that's funny.
did.
And they just renewed the contract to 2030.
Yeah, hopefully not with that security company. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Oh man, but it's one of those things. Like, that's why I asked you at the beginning of the show, like, are you going next year? Because sometimes, just like Scott and I, we all too, Alex. It's like, I don't know if I have the energy for it. It's great, but at the same time,
it is exhausting on that mentally, emotionally. And it can take its toll on you. But I can only imagine there were people really there for Hall H and things like that. And there was just so much disappointing with it. And I'm like, people are paying way too much. They had a lottery system for you to park your car.
What?
I hate that.
Your
so much.
car. I have never seen this form of greed ever. And it's just getting worse. And I don't know what the convention's going to do until it implodes, because eventually it will implode. But
yeah,
it's a shame how they.
I feel
having a good time to a money grab.
Yeah, I feel it's gonna have to move to a 6-month coast to coast thing. One in East Coast, one in West Coast. That's gonna have to be
I'd
split
be okay with
duties.
that.
And honestly, that makes sense. It'll all sell out and everything, but at least people go, okay, if I'm on the East Coast, I can go here, send a international Comic-Con, and then have one. And even simultaneously, run it simultaneously. But you're gonna have to fight over what Hall H's are better. But I don't know. Anyway, that's a discussion for a whole nother time. Scott,
right?
Yeah,
you're the reason why we went over 2 hours today. So I'm gonna have you
sitting here saying nothing most of the night. It's for me, it was 50-50. Some of it was good, some of it wasn't. I'm not upset. If other people get the stuff, cool. I pre-ordered like 4 things, and I'm good, man. I think that X-Wing Fighter is the slap in the face to TVC collectors that the
unless you want,
which I don't. So, and neither did the 85% of other people that were pulled by
15%, man.
They're gonna get theirs. So yeah, that's it. That's it, man.
Cool. Well, guys, let's get out of here. It was a great talk. I was looking forward to this all weekend. I was holding, I was in everybody's live streams and everything like that, really, trying to put my 2 cents in there, but I was really anticipating talking to you guys, talking to the pit. I'm glad. I'm so grateful that everybody turned out today and wanted to just talk about Star Wars collecting, because that's what this show is about. And, if there's, I know we didn't cover a lot of stuff, so we're going to start. Well, I'm sure as it goes on, we're start bringing stuff in as more pre-orders happen. I'm really anxious to see what is happening as far as the exclusives, if we're going to be able to get them all, because they'll go on sale soon. I want to thank everybody who donated and bought membership gifts. Thank you so much, Star Wars and Brews, for the mega super chat. You're awesome. Anybody who is new here, please like and subscribe. All of the links in the description below to all our affiliates, from SKN to Tommy Blitz Transmissions to the Sarlacc Digest to Wooshers 3D Printing Lab. The links are all in there. Our Discord to the Syndicate, where the conversation continues, and of course our replay crew. I know I didn't leave a lot of time for you guys to plug your stuff, but real fast, let's go ahead and then we'll officially get out of here. So Alex, you can start first.
All right. Well, hey, we're gonna probably talk about the slap in the face San Diego Comic-Con did to collecting on Wednesday night on Toy Box Chronicles. We'll do our post San Diego Comic-Con one. Also, Friday mornings, Good Morning Toy Box. Last week, I had the privilege of actually Tommy joining me and everything. He did a great job and everything.
Awesome.
And it was Syndicate Friday. We're hoping to see more Syndicate Fridays. And then we got Pixel Plastic and Ink that's taking place on Friday nights as well at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Got a bunch of goodies and everything else like that. So make sure you guys tune in Wednesday night. We're going to show what some of the free giveaways, some of the bags, some of the stuff that we got. Some of the exclusive Scully broke the bank. I will tell you that. We had
always does
have an intervention with him on day one. One, I was like, bro, you got to slow down. So see what happens when the FOMO Institute has a conversation with him on Wednesday night's Toy Box Chronicles. I can tell you that. But hey, you want the best in the game and everything. You saw me stream with him. I like to call him it was 100% streaming and plenty, and a lot of people watching the live reaction videos because they know what happens when you watch the best. You don't watch the rest. Tommy from Bliss Transmission.
That's right. It's better than what I call him publicly. So.
Apparently Blitz the Kid, as they call me now on the stream.
You are.
I gotta give a special thank you to everybody. We had almost 400 people watching on Friday for that stream. Absolutely amazing. Thank you everybody who came out. We also had an amazing turnout tonight as well. So I have to give a special thank you to everybody who watched tonight. Blitz Transmissions. I've got tons of action figures. If you watched my bachelor party stream a few weeks ago, I opened up all my toys. I have no backlog of figures now. So now I have new stuff that I just got in, ready to open, ready to review. New format coming to some stuff as well on Blitz Transmissions. So get ready. Lots of exciting stuff to come. I'll leave it at that.
Awesome.
Scott, Mooch, what's going on the Sarlacc Digest?
We are... Go for it, Scott.
Do
you know what we're doing?
A trivia show. We're doing a trivia show. That's right. So this Wednesday, buckle up. We're going to do some trivia.
Yeah.
And then, the week after, we're going to get back to the news. And
because we got D23 coming, man. So we're going to anticipate.
Oh, and there's some news coming out of the Lucas Museum as well. Did you know that you might be able to see a TV show that was put on the back burner, they detoured right around the show, but you're actually going to be able to see it if you go to the Lucas Museum.
Sick.
Wow. Nice.
So we'll get into that at a later date.
Yeah,
there's time.
Dr. Brentley is our reigning champion for our trivia, so you guys have to beat him. I think he went 18 for 20 or 19 for 20. So I'm going to try to make this a little bit difficult.
How many questions we got this time?
I think we're going 20 questions, and it's going to be the thing where you log in. It's going to be a real-time thing. I'll put the latency at 0, so it's a real-time thing where we're doing. It's going to have fun. We're going to kick back, have some good Star Wars fun. That's this Wednesday at 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, right after SKN, their Toy Box Chronicles at 7 o'clock. So, guys, thank you very much. Links in the description below. Join the syndicate. Like and subscribe. Have a great rest of your Monday. With that, Scott,
keep it nerdy, everybody.
Bye-bye.
No.
This is Grand Admiral Thrawn. You are listening to the Sarlacc Digest. What a fascinating play on words.